Welcome, welcome. I'm going to get YouTube going here and I will be right back. Welcome, YouTube. Welcome, Zoom. Welcome, friends. Hello, hello. Welcome to Truth Tribe. One moment. Can y'all hear me all right? Good sound. Good, everybody. Good to see you guys tonight. Welcome. Give everybody just a minute to log in here and we will get started. And then all will be good. We're going to talk about some awakening in the basic way I can of what's happening on the universe and the planet right now. It's insane. So welcome. Welcome YouTube as well. Those of you on YouTube, good to see you. The chat is open, by the way, on the Zoom call. So if you're on Zoom with me, you can feel free to dump in your questions in the chat or the Q&A as we go. All right. All right. So I'm going to get started. I know a lot of people slowly slide in as we move along, and I don't like to waste people's time. Not that this is ever a waste, right? But I don't like to hold us up on our learning. So let's get started, and then I'll let everybody just slide in as they get with us. Okay, everybody, welcome to tonight's Truth Tribe. I am Daune Thompson. I want to thank you all for being here. Remember, you're all perfect exactly where you are right now. There is nothing wrong with you, and I love you very much. Truth Tribe is to illuminate your self-awareness of your health, wealth, and love. You do not need an astrology chart for Truth Tribe, but it will help you for self-awareness during the planetary updates and the times that I tap in. So if you need to learn the basics on how to read your chart, there's a basic tutorial on the I Deserve It membership. It allows you to all the descriptions and how to read your charts from basic all the way to advanced. IDeserveItNow.com. Just go right to the homepage, you'll see it. Okay, tonight, you're looking into truth mirrors, my friends. So I've been getting this a lot lately, and the topic that basically is coming up is, like what's happening out there, Dawn? Like, what is going on? It's weird, it's thick, it's this void-like energy. It's kind of odd, right? And so what's happening out there in the universe and the energy grid, shall I say, at the moment is that there's two realities or two timelines, as people want to refer to two Earths. It's not two planets, it's not two anything. It's two energy realities and or timelines that are being realized. So we're realizing this, we're seeing it. One where you are free to live your inner truth and step into your full power, and one where your old patterns and your shadows and your loops, infinite loops of repetition, are nudging you once again to elevate to a higher version of self reality, self. Okay. But it all comes down to truth. Not what is the truth, but what is my truth. And all the external non-truths that keep coming up, like, wait a minute, that's not true, that's not true, that's not true, which is a lot, right? Are simply irritating you, right? Because you have to let it go, and you have to let it go to look at your inner truth. And external truths are mirroring your shadows so that you can let them go. Okay. So anytime you find yourself asking, is any of this true? Right? You're really being invited to consider, is it true for me right now? Is this my current reality of myself right now? Does it support my highest self in this moment? For example, you might see something on social media and start spiraling about it. even though you were about to just go for a walk or read or do some work. So, which reality is actually yours? The post or your walk, right? The one where you follow your own rhythm or the one where your energy gets pulled into this distraction and doubt. And if something is being told to you and then it suddenly feels untrue or confusing, it may not be aligned with your soul's knowing. It's just a sign that you're leaving the old earth frequency or reality. And right now we're in this timeline convergence. So if you just imagine all these rivers and all these timelines that are converging, where all paths and all realities, especially into they're converging into this fourth dimensional field. Remember, Earth is not a thing, it's a frequency. So we live in the 3D frequency of field of existence. Fourth dimension is a thinking, the thought field of existence. So all these timelines are converging and they're collapsing into one. Okay. Like rivers. So just think of it as all these rivers. Funny, we're talking about flooding and all the rivers, right, are blending into things. Rivers are kind of meeting at a conjunction or like at this junction point of a bridge, like a tiny Hansel and Gretel bridge, right? So it's too small. So it can feel chaotic, like being tugged into all these different directions, like which one is the right way. And this overwhelm of timelines, which is timelines of information, right? And that's what you're sensing. You're feeling it. You're picking it up. It's coming in so fast. It's coming into you so fast, and you're feeling like you have to interpret it all. So it's kind of like the Mandela effect, right? You know you saw something, you know you read it, you know you heard it, whether it was last week, last month, 3 years ago, 15 years ago. Like the movie Shazam and Sinbad. And now everyone says that he never existed in that movie, right? Or someone insists, right? They never said something to you, even though you remember it clearly. So it's like, God, is this Groundhog Day? Is this repeating again? And you're like, how did I thought I cleared that and it's not, and there it is. Everything's overlapping. That confusion that's coming up for everyone is the convergence. It's the convergence of all these energetic timelines. And so this bridge at the moment, right, is where all these timelines are running into each other, flooding the bridge of thought. And your job right now, my friends, is to choose your own lighthouse that doesn't move, that you know who you are, to step into your higher self's sacred code. Remember, your birth chart, your blueprint is sacred geometric code. So use your lighthouse astrology, surrendering to old karmic emotions, right? And simply choose to live your truth now without overanalyzing what's real and what's not, who said what and what's wrong with it. Right, wrong, they, them, me, it. It's just exhausting. Okay, so remember, you're the only real thing in your own simulation. This is a simulation. It's a game, and you're in charge of how you play your game. And as you unplug from this dense, controlled narratives that are all converging, good ones, bad ones, right, wrongs, it doesn't matter. You begin living in this higher flow, what we call 5D, the fifth dimension, your soul, your higher self, the higher frequency earth, and that's soul alignment. So it flows right through the channel. So truth mirrors, right, are scaring you into self-awakening. And what is a truth mirror, right? Because you're not surrounded by good people or bad people. You're surrounded by reflections. And that's hard for people to wrap their brain around or swallow right now. It's like, that can't be how I am. You're seeing yourself in your own mirrors, and people are truth mirrors. truth mirrors are scaring you into self-awakening. They scare you so much where you have to go, and you're pulling back in here instead of getting stuck out there. I'm trying to remind you that's what they're showing up for. And you're not surrounded by people or places or experiences. You are surrounded by 12 rooms in your lighthouse. And each room, just think of it this way. Each of these 12 rooms, and you're in the center, you're the light, you're the sun. Each of these rooms has a mirror that you can look into or not. This isn't spiritual, my friends. It is structural. It is science. It is code. It is sacred geometry maps. It is holograms of your lighthouse, like a fun house of mirrors. And some of you avoid your own image because you're like, I don't like how I look in that mirror. Right? You go to the fun house, you're like, ooh, that is not the version I look too skinny, too fat, too tall, too distorted. It is an active electric feedback system in the universe right now of your sonar. You send out energy or frequency. Internally, you have this and you send it out, and how it's expressing itself out to the external. And everything you're experiencing, from love to betrayal to success to suffering to healthy to heaviness, is just a reflection of your inner field. It's your sonar responding back to you. So I want you to just close your eyes for 1 second, okay? Just a minute here. And I want you to close your eyes for just a moment. I want you to imagine that you're standing in the center of your lighthouse. You got your 12 rooms around you, surrounding you. And I'm going to list the name of the door of each of those 12 rooms. And I want you to just make a mental note of the one door that jumps out at you that is not your favorite door, not your favorite topic. Okay? And these are the doors I want you to think of. Your self-confidence, your worth and value in money, your communication, your siblings. Number 4, your home, security, nurturing. Number 5, your offspring, your fun house, your romance. 6, your health and how you show up in the world, work and service. How do you work? 7, your partnerships, professional and personal. 8, your intimacy, your emotions, your death and rebirth. How well do you allow change in your life? How well do you open your soul to the darkness in there? 9, your beliefs, your higher learning, your exploring soul. 10, your career. 11, your public, your hopes, your wishes and dreams out in that external world. And 12, your intuition, your mental health, your self-imprisonment. And when you think of those rooms, those are the doors where friends, people, experiences have maybe whatever door you just chose and said, yeah, that one, not my favorite door, not my favorite room. And you're in that room and you have difficult experiences, challenging you at like so many levels. I want you to go in that room and I want you to see the mirror in that room, and I want you to look in the mirror and see the experiences that have been happening in that room. Mirroring your own reality with yourself. Now open your eyes. Now you know where to start shedding light on you. These are mirrors of your pain. These are mirrors of your beliefs. These are mirrors of your gifts, and these people are the mirror. Those cruel friends reflect where you still tolerate disrespect. The lying internet that's triggering you is you lying to you about truth, your own truth. The spouse who rejects you reflects where you abandon your own needs. Maybe that boss who drains you reflects where you hold insecurities about your worth. The lover or flirtation who ignites you reflects that dormant frequency that you finally see where you've been living in the dark. Because you don't attract what you want, my friends. You attract what you are. And people are presents, gifts of energy for you to look at your own emotional poverty self-mirror. Earth's reality, my friends, is designed as a mirror matrix. It is like the house sometimes of mirrors, the house of laughter, and sometimes it's the house of horrors. But that mirror matrix is a responsive system that shows you who you are by echoing your frequency through others. And it's like a movie to help you shine and not suffer, to go, oh, I'm accepting that. That means I feel that about myself, not them. They're just the mirror. Yet until you see you, right, you must go into that room and look at yourself as if it's always feeling like they, right? They are doing this to you. They are not doing anything to you. They are reflected back. And this is why I've given you that emotional release tool for the last several classes in Truth Tribe. If you didn't listen to 123, 122, it's in those classes, in those calls. Once you see this, my friends, once you see these emotions that are mirroring back to you, these insecurities that you see in others, once they are seen and released, you shift to truth right here. The challenged, right, is looking at ourself in the mirror of the people presenting it. And there's 3 kinds of mirrors that you're going to encounter in your house, in your life. Shadow mirrors. They show you where you are still fractured or accepting negative emotions in your inner reality. Then you have infinity mirrors, revealing patterns where you keep repeating as karmic avoidance, asking for completion, because remember, infinite energy, right? Remember, karma is something you came to complete. Karma is not something you came to avoid, not do. And so it'll keep repeating on an infinite loop until you stare it in the face, go, oh, I got to do more of that. And then there's the awakening mirrors. And these are people that amplify your fire and they remind you who you really are. People who inspire you to keep the lights on in that room to free your gifts and shine. So do you want to change your life? Don't rearrange your friends. Don't rearrange your job. Don't rearrange your partner. Don't run from it. Don't chase it. Don't pretend you don't see yourself and your emotions around the topic. Shift your frequency inside. Look what's the emotion that is heavy on the inside. Heal your beliefs. See your emotions around the topic. Because it's time to remember your soul's code. Because when you do, the mirror changes. Instantly. I mean, like an instant. And I don't care if it's like, well, I've been with someone and I've been with this spouse for 30 years. Instantly it changes. Their response changes, their presence changes, everything changes when you change the frequency that you're sending out in sonar. The money changes, the career changes, all of it. The ones who abandon you, right? You just disappear. They disappear. Or they step up and meet you in your truth. The ones who project their low frequency trash fall away. The ones who carry your higher code, your highest love, they just appear like magic. And I don't care what the topic is or what room you are in your house. That's why I don't fight the external anymore. And I had been for a long time in my life. Right? That's why I teach surrender and let go. That's why I teach lighthouse astrology. That is the exact reason why I teach it this way. Because astrology isn't a future predictor. You can, but you still never will know the future because your future is always right now. Lighthouse astrology is standing in the center and understanding you and your code. It's a code that you designed to see yourself as pure light God consciousness. And I personally go in and I study the mirrors in each of my own rooms. I own my tone, how I may sacrifice my own light. I walk with surrender. I let go of the emotions about that topic that are not mine in that room. They were programmed, they were learned, they were misinterpreted. And I light up my best deserving version of my inner soul. It is a non-negotiable for me. So if the people in that room, once I'm shifting, collapse, I let it. If it triggers me, I face it, I feel it so I can release it. If it matches me, because I know what I deserve, I honor it as my deserving reflection of beauty. I honor that I've stepped into beautiful. How beautiful I thought I could be, I wanted to be, and then one day I'm like, woo, right? Wow, I didn't know it was that beautiful. That's amazing. This isn't about, I know the spiritual community uses these words, but it's not about light and love, my friends. It's not about fairies and rainbows. It's about mirror authenticity. Okay? It's about you standing in that mirror and being completely authentic in that mirror. It's about internal code respect. Who you are inside, not what the world decides for you, because it never will. It will never decide for you. It will never pick you. This is a you game, end of story. And as within, so without. The sonar reflection that you send out, the reflection back, it doesn't lie. It just reflects the mirror I'm looking into. So the outside shows me what I look like inside in my mirrored reflection. And I've learned that I'm not here to be liked. I'm here to illuminate. I am here to light up all of your souls from inside. I don't need you to like me. I need you to tap into my light so you light up so fucking bright that people want to know what you did. And what you did is you looked in those mirrors that you were avoiding. So facing yourself, facing your shadows, facing those loops, repeating patterns, and facing your light. We are so out of practice to see how gifted we are when we just pick us. How long are you going to look for answers, especially answers to things outside of you? I see this going on in the social digital world right now. What's right? What's wrong? I gotcha. I gotcha. You're a liar. You're not. That's wrong. That's true. That's not. It's constant. And I need you guys to hear me. The answer is inside of you, always inside of you. And so many lately are like, well, what the fuck does that mean, Dawn? The answer's in here. It clearly isn't because I don't feel good. Whatever you are avoiding in this call on that number of the door that you walked into, that you were avoiding looking into that mirror, that's truth inside of you. That's what I'm talking about. The answer is inside of you. Any blame that you seek in others is your mirror to shift you internally. And the second you do, whew, I'm really upset they abandoned me. That's me abandoning me. That's how fast it changed. What did I say that in 5 seconds? 5 seconds. That's how fast it changes. And then the sonar says, I won't abandon me. So the energy starts flowing in of support, not abandonment. It means that your view of the external is your view of you. Your view of judgment is self-judgment. Your interpretation of good and bad is self-interpretation of good and bad. Your viewpoint of any other lighthouse out there is not yours. It's entanglement with your sonar frequency. That's the gift. Your viewpoint is coming from energy and memories right now, my friends. Memories of convergence of all these timelines from every lifetime. And I know people really just don't understand lifetimes because your soul is eternal. It has all this information and code. So your viewpoint in life right now with your energetic DNA and code is coming from every lifetime you have right now. Recalling that betrayal, that guilt, that abandonment, that shame. So whoever's showing up, it's showing you all this, all these rivers all coming into one place, into this portal. And you're like, oh, is it them? Is it them? Is it that? Is it a lie? Is it a true? And that's my point. You, once you realize all you're doing is taking it in so you can see which things actually you need to shift your reality, it changes the game. It changes when you see that. Why are you recalling this tsunami of emotions? Why? It doesn't make sense, right? None of us are like, where is all this old stuff coming back again? Why are these old thoughts coming up? Why are my shadows appearing? Like I've been doing all the work done. All of you on this call have done the work. If you've worked with me privately, you've done the work because I push you hard to look, right? Why is this all this tsunami of all these rivers and convergence of emotions coming in? Because it's your own lighthouse in need of truth, in need of looking in the mirror and seeing you are no longer abandoning you. You are no longer going to avoid empowering you. You are no longer going to keep shaming you. You are not going to avoid you anymore. You are not going to ask for permission to do anything anymore. You are learning that you are deserving to be you. That's why it's coming in. That's why it's so weird, because if I gave you a visual, it's energetic timelines that are all coming to one. And you are God consciousness, my friends, all of you. And that is surrender to all that is not inner truth. If it is not your inner truth, it is not true. Doesn't matter where it came from, who it is, it doesn't matter. And surrendering all that is not that truth within you. The only truth is your truth. And you're releasing everything, every person that isn't that truth to look in their own mirrors. It doesn't mean you're cutting them out. Like I said, you don't go and cut people. You don't eliminate. You don't speak to them. You don't change it. You're only stepping into going, oh, I guess I don't have to address that anymore. It's not my truth. Oh, I'm just going to stay here. You're releasing that with zero words, zero explaining, zero analyzing of what they're doing, right or wrong. What it's doing is it's asking, is this true for me or not? If it's not, it's time to see where your inner truth needs a little light, where you need to look in the mirror and say, you're right, I'm not going to abandon me anymore. You're right, I'm not going to question my value and my worth anymore, if it's money or something like that. You're right, I'm not going to stand in this suffering anymore. I'm going to snap it like that and be healed tomorrow. I'm going to act, live, and step into the fact that I deserve and I'm going to live in my highest frequency of feeling good. Now, we're so programmed into immediate instant gratification that it didn't work, Dawn. I don't feel better tomorrow. But boy, wouldn't it be better to feel good in a month than stick the next 50 years of your life still feeling shitty? Of course. We've got to take off the timeline, take off the analyzing, take off the people, and just step in. That ownership, right, of your light is awaiting your instant choice to choose your highest frequency of light. It's you in that fun house of mirrors and not avoiding ones that make you ugly and distorted. It's looking into them and how they make you feel. The feeling is so huge right now. But it's always you seeing your life as a reflection of your avoided mirrors and then a reflection of the beautiful mirrors. And people are like, you're amazing. You're like, no, I'm not. Yes, you are. And choosing to illuminate that beautiful truth. Illuminate yourself. See yourself that you deserve to have all 12 categories, all 12 rooms of your lighthouse lit up. It's your turn, my friends. It's time. Okay, there's my little rant. That's what's happening in the world. That's why you're all getting pushed back to center so you can let it all go and let it flow. Let all the convergence of knowledge and information and all the overwhelm, just let it pass by you. That which is true for you will stay. Planetary update, helping you out on this, okay? So I'm going to start with the new moon because I like to give you a little prep time of the buildup, but we're going to do two topics tonight because they're both kind of making people a little wonky right now. So the new moon is actually next week, next Thursday, and it's a new moon in Leo. But Leo is all about, look at me, I'm the star, right? Leo is the big lion with the mane and, wants to shine, okay? And it is at 1 degree of Leo. So if you do have your birth chart, you go look for Leo in your chart, find 1 degree, and you'll see where this new moons are new beginnings, right? It's a new cycle. And so Leo rules, it's a fire sign. So this is a new, fiery new moon arriving. It's initiating a fresh cycle of heart because Leo rules the heart. So this is a new cycle of heart-led courage. Okay, it's saying, okay, guys, start from the center, start from your light, start from your heart, creative expression. Leo rules fun, children on stage. So it wants you to start your new soul-centered visibility. See you. And in its light, it awakens this like bold call to be seen. And it's not about them seeing you, it's about you seeing you because you're attracting what you're like, oh my gosh, that's my mirror now. This is amazing. It's what it wants. Leading your soul from love to unapologetically express from truth of who we are without shrinking. And we've been shrinking. It's the frequency of the performer, the king, the queen, the inner child in you, reclaiming their right to play and be proud. But you've got to be careful of the shadow of this moon because Leo can get wonky. So you might encounter like ego flare-ups, like, didn't you see what I did? Did you see who I am? Attention-seeking masks, and that's not who you are. Or the fear of rejection if we shine too much. That's the lower frequency, the shadow of that new moon. So this moon coming up next week, and you're going to feel the buildup, it's asking you, can you hold your worth without applause? Can you just be the lighthouse? Lighthouses don't care if it's raining, if there's boats, or it just shines, okay? Can you lead without needing flowers, right? The gift comes when you remember that the soul doesn't perform, it radiates. And Leo is ruled by the sun shining. So it's igniting all of this in all of you, okay? Then, if we didn't have enough fun going on with all the timeline convergences and the overwhelm and the shadow work and how do we pull it together? And okay, we got Mercury retrograde starting on the 17th, which is Thursday in a couple days, right? Today's the 14th, so what, 3 days? It is July 17th through the August 10th. Okay, so you're already feeling it, my friends, because Mercury, when it goes retrograde, we have a shadow week beforehand and a shadow week after. This is almost like a 5-week window. Okay, the shadow weeks before and after aren't as intense, but they're still real. So you're already feeling Mercury retrograde. Mercury rules communication, it rules contracts, it rules analyzation, it rules a lot of thinking energy. Okay. Forward motion energy. And so when Mercury retrogrades, it doesn't actually go backwards, as I've told a lot of you, in orbit. It kind of does like this. Then a chair kind of does like that, a loop-de-loo, and it turns a circle. So it kind of slows down its orbit and it turns a circle. And when it comes back around on August 10th, then it moves forward again. So this Mercury retrograde is beginning also its retrograde in Leo because it's in Leo right now. So it's now in Leo and it's going to start turning backwards and it's going to dip back into the sign of Cancer for a little bit. So this retrograde is all about Leo and Cancer. So it's going to trace your roots of how we express emotion and it asking us to go and protect your voice, seeking validation through words. And it's going to want you to not, it's going to want you to ask other people, oh, go back, make sure they heard you, make sure I was right, make sure, oh, they're going to bring that up again. I'm going to go correct them. That's the stuff that's going to come up. And so the shadow may stir up these misunderstandings, emotional manipulation, or old wounds around not being heard or misunderstood, especially by family or in your very close relationships. I am telling you all this because I'm warning you. I tell you, when you're prepared, you don't take it so hit hard. Like, oh, Dawn told me this was something for me to see my mirror. Okay? But this retrograde is a cosmic recall. Okay? Because remember, retrogrades want you to look backward, not to go back. It wants you to look back and do a review to catch any loose ends, an invitation basically to recalibrate your voice. Mercury rules speaking, communication to your values, to rewrite your inner script, to soften the way you communicate without dimming your truth, without dimming your light. And when you speak from truth, this is, oh, this is me abandoning me. Sorry, that's not about you. This is me. I choose this. I'm not going to abandon me. Oh, this is me avoiding myself so many times. I just didn't want to see it. This is me avoiding me. I'm not avoiding you. I've been avoiding me. That's what it's coming up. Okay. It's a soulful opportunity to slow down, my friends. Speak from your heart, not your head, but Mercury's going to want you to. Okay, speak from your heart. Realign how your inner dialogue either fuels your fire and your light or it feeds the fears of the mirrors that you don't want to look at. Look for Leo and Cancer in your chart. Okay, see where you might need a little pause to reset those mirrors of self-reflection during this retrograde. Okay, that's what's really important. Sometimes you guys ask me what I just said and I'm like, I don't know, because I'm kind of just talking out of my brain. It's a soulful opportunity, my friends, to slow down, okay? To speak from your heart, right? That's what it's asking you. So remember, always when people are like, oh my God, it's Mercury retrograde, I can't do a contract, I can't buy anything. No, it just, remember, it means slow, not no. Okay. Mercury retrograde means slow down and check everything. Ask yourself, is that what I want to say? Is that coming from my heart? Is that what I want? Because heart-based conversations is what it wants, but misunderstandings during Mercury retrograde with loved ones or emotional tension may surface, asking you to listen more deeply, revisit your boundaries, speak from softness and not defense. Maybe home and family dynamics when it backs into Cancer, right? So old stories, old ancestral patterns, those loops may arise. Like, why am I doing this again? That's my old pattern. Giving you a sacred window to rewrite how you respond. Because you say, oh, I'm going to own my tone now. That's not who I am. So own how you respond and not just reacting to people. That's what it's asking you to look at. And then your confidence and your self-perception. You're inside of your house, the inside of that lighthouse. So you might feel maybe unusually self-critical or uncertain. It's not the regression. You're not regressing. You're not going backwards. It's reflection. It's a time to realign your self-worth with your soul, not performance or external validation. Please know you guys are in such a perfect place. Everyone is going through this convergence of timelines. Those who have done the work are already tapped into this fifth dimension of, you're right, I can live from soul alignment. I know who I am. I don't really care what other people, coworkers, friends, family, spouses, kids do. I know who I am. I'm going to be it, not become it. Okay? So everybody tap into your thymus here. This is your nervous system, your immune center. Repeat after me. I am courage. I am love. I am truth. And then tap into the thoughts. I know courage. I know love. I know truth. All right, I'm going to open up the Q&A to any topic you want to bring up right now because I know it's an overload. There's been a lot of sickness coming up into my client calls. There's been a lot of emotional breakdowns in my client calls. There's been a lot of death coming up in my client calls. There's a lot of change happening, my friends, and it's all about a choice. I am choosing to choose me in my higher timeline of who I came here to be, or I'm getting sucked into the chaos of all these converging timelines of knowledge and information. And oh my God, that's what's coming up. So you can I'm opening to any topic and on anything tonight regarding that as well as other stuff. Because if you sit with questioning, is this real or not? Is this good or bad? Am I doing this right or not? Am I judging them, and them or not? It's going to constantly eat at you and you're going to feel overwhelmed and anxiety. But when you keep questioning the emotional mirrors, it changes the game and it changes it fast. Okay. All right. So here's a question coming in. It says, so everyone we meet and dislike is our mirror to see what we don't like in ourselves, correct? Yes. That's the best recap of tonight's call anyone could have given me. All people are mirrors of your sonar, your energy, your frequency. You're just sending out energy of all 12 aspects of you, of all 12 rooms, okay? And all people are mirrors of your sonar bouncing back at you. So own it, see what it is that's coming back at you, and ask yourself, wow, am I insecure like them? Wow, am I abandoning myself like them? Oh, wow, am I shaming myself like them? Am I ashamed of myself like them? Am I bossy like them? Am I needy like them? Okay, gotcha. And that's how you upgrade it. This is a great question. Let's see. Next one coming in here is, what does this timeline convergent shift mean to all of us? Okay, my friends. So I know this is confusing to all of you. And like I said, the best thing I could give you was rivers pushing into one portal under a bridge. Okay, and the bridge, here's 3D reality, physical realm. It's the physical dimension, third dimension. Fourth dimension is your mind. So there's your bridge. And imagine now all these rivers are coming into your brain all over. They're all converging, and there's a portal right there, and there's a river where they can push through underneath, but there's not enough room. Okay. So we're all moving through a portal like a tunnel to get to the higher, lighter frequency of fifth dimension, which is just a frequency of living in alignment with the soul code and alignment with who you are. Okay. That's what it is. It's not, you're not going anywhere. And so we're moving through basically a portal like a tunnel into this higher, lighter frequency, and it's pulling all the timelines into one, like one river of all rivers of information in time and space. That's a lot of information, especially if you're an old soul and you've been here for 100, 200,000 lifetimes. Okay. So all the rivers of information, of knowledge and understanding that you've come into, that you've ever downloaded into your soul code, anything you've ever seen, anything you've ever watched, anything you've ever experienced in any lifetime are all funneling into one tunnel, flooding out this bridge. Why? To help us not get so lost in our minds and get up here. So you can move up to this higher soul alignment, or you can feel the chaos in your mind, converging it all into oneness and knowingness. Chaos or flow. Okay. All right. So the next one came in and someone says, I've been deathly ill and not understanding why. Here's another one. And I'm so sorry because so many people are coming ill right now, and it's because of this. It's not because there's something terribly wrong with you. It's that your body, you have this person on here, Erin, she has been doing soul work for so long, and she probably questions herself like, am I ever growing? Am I ever doing any better? And so all of a sudden it's flooding you. Okay. And her question says, I've been deathly ill and not understanding why. And there's a lot of phlegm. I'm training for the New York Marathon, so I had to run regardless of being sick. So I just pushed through. I wasn't allowing being sick to take over the best of me, but I've been sick, and a friend's dad died, and there's a few more deaths going to happen, as well as the death of my divorce, of my marriage to my ex-husband. So very well said. And thank you for sharing, because that is intense. And what she just shared right there is the death of our ego, the death of how she feels about her health, her wealth, and her love, the death of what she thought love was, the ex relationship, the death of what she thought health was, and saying, I choose me. I want to choose to run and be healthy. But the body's like, no, that's all this converging of all her old thought patterns. The death of people. And some people say, I can't take all this convergence of thought patterns and energy and knowledge, and it's overwhelming because it's energy. Okay, and so the only way you escape this overwhelm of the external, going from, instead of watching all this stupid shit on TV, now you watch it 24/7 in front of your face on a phone. It's no different, my friends. You have to allow it out of your space and choose you before you choose that. And so you're absolutely right. You have to allow yourself now some of this emotional release. Go get, if I can please implore you, go download on the Facebook wall or the IDI Club Truth Tribe wall, the picture of the negative emotional release tool. Print it and start running it, and you'll start clearing all this infection and the phlegm and the congestion. And your congestion is a perfect example of a human having congestion with all the emotional energy timelines converging into her, and they're getting stuck. And by you purging all the emotional congestion, the physical congestion will start to clear as well. Does that make sense? So that's all I would suggest you doing right now. Totally download that picture off the Facebook or the like I said, the I Deserve It community wall for Truth Tribe. And I posted them both there. Okay. And I will post it again tonight just for those of you who are like, I don't know what she's talking about. And just follow the steps and do it for every 5 minutes if you have to, until you start feeling better. And you're going to notice that it's just energy that you have to start releasing. Okay. All right. Any other questions? That all makes sense to you. You're all cool. Okay. Because this is a big shift on the planet, my friends. So big. That's why you're seeing the monetary system shift. All the convergence of knowledge and information and putting it back into here. You're seeing health, wealth, and love all converging into one portal. And they're all trying to get through the eye of the needle, right? They're trying to get all this water and all the knowledge and all the information. It's trying to get through this tiny tube portal underneath this tiny bridge, and it's about to burst the bridge. So we can't think about it too much. We either need to choose our higher self, not the bridge, or we get stuck in this old timeline. Those who are stuck behind, they're not getting left. They get more energy. They just are going to take longer, and it's going to be a little more painful for them to have to upgrade, for them to have to shift into that higher frequency. It doesn't mean they're not going with. There's no right or wrong to any of us. It's just a frequency of living. Right? Will you be putting a description of the 3 mirrors? Yes, I will put those descriptions of the 3 mirrors in the Truth Tribe Facebook wall to be able to break them down. But just remember, my friends, they're your shadows, they're your loops, your patterns, your infinite loops, and your light. Right? Your light mirrors, like these beautiful mirrors that we are avoiding. So your shadow mirror, your infinity mirror, and your awakening mirror. I want to be walking in, and lately I've seen a lot of awakening mirrors, and they've made me really happy because I've done a lot of shadow work, a lot of negative emotional release. And when you do that, you go, is it like worth it? And all of a sudden, this health mirror shows up. This, client mirror shows up. All this stuff starts coming. I'm like, oh, I love standing in that mirror now where I didn't like it before. And it's more the mirror of who I am showing up as in that reality of that room. And that's really what it is, and not all the mirrors are going to be fun. Some of them are going to be distorted and ugly, and you won't like it because it's a shadow in your life. It's okay. There's some patterns that I was like, oh, this infinity loop, definitely cutting, because remember, karma is completion. And that's what an infinity loop is. It will infinitely keep playing, repeating over and over like an infinity loop, never stopping until you finally complete the cycle. And then it turns into a circle around you and it comes into peace. So that's what you're all coming up to head with. Sorry to be the bearer of great and greater news, but um, it's not as bad as it all feels. And that's what I wanted to make sure you were all quite aware of. It is not as bad as it feels, but we are very, very, you know, poorly been programmed and taught how to feel anything. We are the biggest emotional poverty we've had in the entirety of the earth plane. And so now you're learning to feel again. And feeling is always not easy. So by looking in those mirrors, you go, that's how I feel. Getting treated like that, I must feel like that about myself. And you're able to purge it, clear it, and it changes like that. Okay. All of us have been programmed like, but that's not how it works. That's not how it works. Oh, my friends, that's how it works in this high frequency 5D quantum expansion. That is the new it. That is the new reality. Some of you are going to go fast and some of you are going to take your time. It's okay. So yes, remember, I will put all those three windows, mirrors on the Truth Tribe walls, both of them. Remember, always open for discussions there. Ask questions. Find me if you have any. Make sure you share and invite a friend to this one and or the next True Tribe once the replays are up. If you're ready and you want to go all in and you don't have all these courses to understand yourself, you need better self-awareness, right? Get the VIP I Deserve It membership where you get everything, and I take you from the basics of a chart all the way to the advanced deep diving of your soul, high-low frequency of every house in your chart. Okay? All my books, all my information are all there to help you slow drip yourself into that. Just go to ideserveitnow.com to my website and it's all there. Also, if you are listening to this after this live session on YouTube or Spotify, remember I will always put the links in the notes below as well. So my friends, find me if you have any questions. You know where to find me. DM me. You do not need to have anything specific. If you just need a little like, Dawn, am I losing my mind? I'm going to tell you, no, you're amazing and beautiful and perfect. But I will help you. Thank you for joining me tonight, my friends. I love you all. Brightest blessings. I'll talk to you next week on Monday. Take care.